It's commencement season. That means people are graduating colleges and high schools, and politicians, of course, join the ranks of the noted, exclusive individuals who are asked to give commencement addresses. And President Biden, well, of course, he leads the list. He's the get. You want him to speak to those minds full of mush, ready to take their college education and hit the ground running, to seize the day. Right? Nothing but possibilities out there. You want to make the most of it. It's time to be the best you can be. So Joe Biden hopped on over to Howard University, which is about 2 miles from the White House. Quite a trip for the old guy. And he delivered an address to the graduates there at Howard. And of course, Howard University is a historically black university. So, true to form, Joe Biden condescended and patronized them. Here, take a look.
We know that American history has not always been a fairy tale. From the start, it's been a constant push and pull for more than 240 years between the best of us, the American ideal that we're all created equal, and the worst of us, the harsh reality that racism has long torn us apart. It's a battle that's never really over. But on the best days, enough of us have the guts and the hearts to stand up for the best in us. To choose love over hate, unity over disunity, progress over retreat. To stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
That's enough of that, I think. Yeah, white supremacy is the biggest terror threat here in this country. By the way, who's he calling racist? Isn't this the guy who opposed busing? Didn't Kamala Harris call him a racist in the debate back in 2020? Wasn't he cozy friends with Klansman Robert Byrd? We forget about all of that stuff. He's Joe Biden now, and he's talking to Howard University, so it's all the other guys who are racist. I think I'm most disturbed, though, by all of the graduates there. They've just gotten out of 4 years at college. They're ready to take the reins and be the next generation of leaders, and they're applauding the idea that they're already victims of white supremacy. This canard that white supremacists are the biggest domestic terror threat in this country, as if these young black professionals who are leaving with their college diploma have to look over their shoulder and be scared for their lives of some crazy white racist looking to murder them. Well, no. It's actually not the situation in this country, and we all know it. Yeah, if they're leaving the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C., they might want to look over their shoulders. If they get on the metro, they might want to be afraid for their lives, but not because of a white racist, because they could be attacked by another African American who is going to kill them, because that's where there's a lot of violent crime right now in a city like Washington, D.C. or New York. As you know, the beloved street performer Jordan Neely was threatening and intimidating riders on the New York subway until Daniel Penny decided to intervene. Daniel Penny, a white Marine Corps veteran, helped the black riders on that subway, helped the innocent citizens of every color, race, and creed by subduing Jordan Neely, a man who had 40 prior felony arrests, including punching a woman in the face just a few months ago as she was getting out of a subway station. Jordan Neely needed to be restrained, as you can see from this video. He needed to be subdued. Now, it's a tragedy that he died, but it would have been a bigger tragedy if he had assaulted an innocent passenger. And Daniel Penny, he didn't care what color this person was, and he didn't care what color the potential victims were. He just saw a bad guy doing bad things, and as a really well-trained Marine, he intervened, and he was the good guy. For his efforts, of course, he's now charged with manslaughter. The good news is he's got a legal defense fund out there. Give, Send, Go is where you want to go to donate to his legal defense, and it's looking pretty good right now. Over $2 million at this moment. But just be clear, people are not donating upwards to $2 million to help Daniel Penny's lawyers out. They're not helping to pay for his court fees. They're not donating that money because he needs to get out of trouble. They're donating on behalf of Western civilization. They're donating out of the idea of the Good Samaritan and the fact that we still have a calling in this country, regardless of corrupt district attorneys and out-of-touch politicians like Joe Biden. We have a calling to protect one another, to protect ourselves, and to protect our fellow citizens. Daniel Penny did just that, and it's one of the hallmarks of Western civilization, that we don't just look down and look away and mind our own business when an innocent person is being intimidated or threatened or even harmed. No, we step up and we do something about it. And we don't yell at other people and call them names the way the president just did at that college speech. No, we just keep our mouth shut, and with quiet dignity and duty, we do our jobs as a citizen in a civilized society. That's why people are donating upwards to $2 million to Daniel Penny, because they want to believe that we still have a civilization here, one worth protecting, one worth defending. So I'm hoping that all of those graduates from Howard University don't take the metro here in D.C. as they're leaving their graduation, because then they really will feel threatened, but not by imaginary racists, by the same type of person that just yesterday took a knife and slashed 3 innocent subway riders in Queens, New York. Yeah, New York Post has the story. 3 men slashed at Queens subway station. Now, whoever did the slashing could be black, could be white, could be of Latino or Asian descent, really doesn't matter. And the victims, I mean, I couldn't tell what their race was in that picture. It doesn't matter. There are 2 races in this country, the good and the evil. That's all we should care about. And we should be rooting for the good guys. The good guys are the ones who get slashed. The bad guys are the ones doing the slashing. The good guys are the Daniel Pennies, who see people who are being threatened and they step up and they do something about it. I mean, first they'll look around and see if there's a cop available to step in and intervene. These days, they're few and far between. They're in very short supply because they've been undermined, because they're not getting paid what they deserve. They're not allowed to intervene in a criminal situation, not the way they were originally trained. And so, Daniel Pennies of the world need to step up, and they need to intervene. And they don't think about getting sued, and they don't need to think about getting arrested. They think about doing the right thing. It's something that people like Joe Biden have no concept of, because all the Joe Bidens of the world know is opportunity, and to use race to divide us and inflate their own personal persona. Sadly, that was the crime we saw in Washington, D.C. this weekend, perpetrated by the commander-in-chief. And the victims, well, sadly, the victims are those college graduates applauding the idea that they are under threat from imaginary white supremacists. There's more to come on O'Connor Tonight.